Good morning everyone, I hope you are all well. It is Thursday morning in Corfu, just gone 8 o'clock, and I'm just back in the village of Dafnata, which is the start of day 4. If I just stop here, at 12 o'clock you can see Mount Pantocrator. But we're heading on down here for about a quarter of a mile before we start the climb up to the top of Mount Agios. We then descend down the other side and continue our journey on towards Pelekas. Described as a strenuous but rewarding day today, so it should be interesting. I'm just taking some breakfast with Costas at Costas Bar. Let me just show you though what I am treated to this morning. Just look at that stunning view down towards the east coast of Corfu, and in the far distance you might just be able to make out the airport and Corfu town. And again at 12 o'clock, right there in the middle, you can see the summit peak of Mount Pantocrator. But we will arrive there in a few days' time, all being well. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and get some breakfast and some coffee. And I aim to set off in about half an hour's time. So peaceful up here. So peaceful. And I'll just show you one last thing. Costas tells me that this house, his house, has the best view on the island, and I've been up there, and I'll tell you what, he is not wrong. Morning everyone, and I hope you are all safe and well. We'll just let that car go, shall we? How are we all doing? So, day 4 on the Corfu trail. So far so good. I've just left the village of Dafnata, where I had a simple but most delightful breakfast with Costas. Costas and his wife own and run the little cafe Taverna in the village of Dafnata. I had a really good chat with him yesterday when I arrived, and another chat with him this morning. And I'm going to return at some point because I don't leave Corfu until the end of July. I'm out here for 3 weeks, albeit 10 days is walking the Corfu trail. I've then got another 20 days with my wife and son to relax and tell them of my tales and stories of the Corfu trail. So I'm going to go back at some point once I've completed the Corfu trail and record an interview with Costas, and I'll post it up as a separate vlog because he's a truly inspirational guy who, through a series of life-changing events, has devoted his life to helping people. Not only people around the village, but people he bumps into, and especially those who are indulging in the Corfu trail. But I'll explain a little bit more in my vlog, but basically he is there if you need him at any point along the way. Absolutely amazing character. Absolutely amazing character. Anyway, so the plan for today is pretty simple. It is Daphnata to Pelekas, and it's 17 kilometers today. It's about 9:15 now in Corfu, so 7:15 UK time. So I have a message for you. Wakey wakey, rise and shine, get on up, it's hiking time. So it's time to head for the west coast again of Pelekas. Described as a strenuous route, but according to Costas, the experienced hiker or fit hiker shouldn't have too many problems. But we are going up and over the mountain of Agios, so it should be interesting. But I'm looking forward to this one because I'm looking forward to getting back onto the west coast where it is more dramatic, and I'm looking forward to creating some really good content, which obviously I will share with you guys. So with no further ado, I've reached a little point here where I need to figure out where I'm going, because the guide book said just continue downhill for 15 minutes until you meet the Lefkimi and Corfu road, which I think I've done. But there is also a sign for the Corfu trail, so I need to check exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing. I do not want to be making any silly mistakes so early in the day. So I'll catch up with you all guys en route. And once again, welcome to day 4 on the Corfu trail, Daphnata to Pelekas, 17 kilometers up and over the mountains. Let's get this thing well and truly rocking and rolling. So at this point, guys, do not go to Kakira, that's Corfu. Do not go to Lefkimi. You want this signpost here to Pantokrata. And just over here, you will see the infamous yellow way marker for the Corfu trail. So that's where we're going, my friends, and it looks like we're heading for the mountains. Guys, it's now 10:30 on Thursday, day 4 on the Corfu trail, and after spending 15 minutes descending, I've just spent an hour and 15 minutes climbing up through the mountains. It was enjoyable, hard work, technically challenging, and also physically demanding. You could just see a little clearing just there, just where the top of my sticks are. That's the top of the path that I've just spent an hour and 15 minutes climbing up. And I've arrived at a little monastery perched on top of the hill. Now some may question, why would you spend an hour and 15 minutes walking uphill? I get that, dudes. That's why, my friends. Just look at that view. Look at that. Let me show you around. Day 4 on the Corfu trail. There's the little monastery. The devotees who used to, or maybe still, visit that monastery, fair play to their dedication to the religion and the belief. Because I'm guessing before the roads were built, their pilgrimage would have been up that track. And some of them would have been younger than me. But I can bet my bottom dollar that many of them would have been older, elderly and deeply religious people who'd have shown their sacrifice to their religion by making this climb. There it is again. Just look at that. You can probably tell, guys, that I'm overwhelmed by the beauty, but also the harshness and ruggedness of this beautiful island. So I'm going to refill my hip flask from my pack flask with some really cold water to have a good drink, because I've probably used up a lot of fluid coming up there. Sipping every 5 to 10 minutes. And I've also picked up the Corfu trail sign, which seems to head downhill. We may be going up to the golf ball, which you can just see up on the hill there. Just up there, that's one of the radio antennas. Let me come around, there you go. There's the golf ball. We may be going up there. We may just catch a glimpse of it and start heading down. I don't know, that's the beauty of the Corfu trail. It does not go as the crow flies. So, just because your route for the day is heading east to west, doesn't necessarily mean that you'll always be heading west. I've walked north, south, east and west today. But boy, what an experience so far. And my advice for day 4, make sure you've got your poles, guys. You're going to need them on the uphills and the down. They will really save your legs. Use those arm muscles that don't get used that often. So, I'm going to love you and leave you guys with just one stunning view. In fact, let's go up here. There's a little bench, which is where I'm going to offload my pack for a couple of minutes. It's a little bit higher. In fact, there's another bench, and I bet this one enjoys the most amazing vista. Just look at that. What a sight to behold. Just arrived at this beautiful little monastery. I'm going to stop for 30 seconds or maybe a minute and just say a prayer or a blessing to those no longer with us. My mum would be so proud of what I was doing now. Just look at this place. What a place to find comfort. What a place to look for forgiveness. What a place to come for advice. What a beautiful place. Now, I'm not a religious person, but this could quite easily steer me in the direction of some sort of religion. Rest in peace, Mum. I know you're walking with me today, I know you are. I'll try and hold the camera as still as possible. But we've just come down about a 25-minute, 30-minute descent on a very, very narrow track which led up to the beautiful monastery which I showed you earlier. We've now joined this boulder track, which I believe takes us down to a small village or a small town where you should be able to get some refreshments. But just have a little look. There's a view. Just look at that. In the far distance is Corfu town and the old fort of Corfu. You can see that tall cypress tree pointing up at 12 o'clock. But if you go to 11 o'clock, that's the outcrop where you'll find the old fort of Corfu. And I believe we're heading on down here now. Sticks necessary. It's quite loose and quite rubbly, so I'll be taking my time down here. But just look at that. And in the far distance is the mainland of Albania. We've just arrived in the village of Kamara. Have a little look around. Can it be any more typically Greek mountainside village? Isn't that amazing? So I think this means, guys, we're making good progress today. Kalimera. I've just seen a signpost here behind me, just over my shoulder there, for Sinarares, which is where we are heading for today on our route to Pelekas. So we're going to push on down here just for a short while. One thing I would point out though, guys, is the opportunity to supply or resupply your provisions on this route seems very limited. Although I've passed through a number of villages, I'm guessing we're going down this little alleyway here. Oh yeah, there's a yellow marker on the floor. So although we've passed through quite a few mountaintop and mountainside villages, there appears to be very little in the way of shops or cafes where you can stock up on water or whatever is your tipple during the day. Don't answer that question. For me, it's water, occasionally a nice cold Coke, but at the end of the hike or near the end of the hike, or an orange juice or a fresh orange. But I haven't managed to find anywhere, but I'm well stocked today. So it looks, you can see from the little yellow way marker just up there that we're heading down that track. So from the shade of Kamara, I'm going to love you and leave you and head on down that little track, and I'll see you all somewhere between Kamara and Sinarares. The village you can see behind the trees is the mountainside village of Spyridonas, which I've just passed through. I stopped very briefly for an orange juice and to buy 2 bottles of water to top up my flask. It was a nice little welcome break, only 5 minutes though, because having reached Spyridonas means I've got about an hour and 20 minutes until I get to Pelikas. But just have a little look around. You can see the mountain at 12 o'clock. Reminds me of something, I don't know about you, but that's Mount Agios, which I had to climb up and then down to eventually get to the village of Spyridonas. So this is where we are, guys, with about an hour and 20 minutes to go. And this is where we're going, down that little path there. And I'm guessing we'll soon take sight of the glorious west coast of Corfu again. But just one more time, guys, before I push on. Just look at that. Look at the mountain range in the background. And sitting on the foothills, the village of Spyridonas. What a sight to behold. So this is the West Coast path, which is going to lead me to Pelikas. Found a friend. Seems quite friendly. Anyway, this is the West Coast path. It's going to lead me to Pelikas. Before I push on to Pelikas, just look at that view. I feel a level of achievement and accomplishment looking back at that mountain range, to think that that was one of the mountain ranges that I've had to climb up and over to get to this heaven. Just look at the colours and just look at my new friend. You look a bit hot, buddy. I'd go and lay down somewhere in the shade if I were you. What's your name? Spyros? Costas? Dave? You seem to respond to Dave. You alright, Dave? Okay. I'm on my way. Just as I saw along the Cleveland Way, which I solo hiked a few weeks ago, there are shrines to those who have sadly left us. Now, I don't know this guy, and I don't know whether he sadly left us here or whether this was the place that he wanted to be remembered, but I can think of worse places to be remembered. Have a little look. Apart from the cricket fellas, it's so peaceful. But maybe that's what he liked. Rest in peace, my friend, whoever you were. And I hope you're having safe and enjoyable travels in the afterlife, whatever that may be.